Hi, and welcome to the first episode of Crystal Moon Watch 2014 with your hosts, Terry Parr and Halo Sama. I'm the king and he's the noob, and welcome to our Sailor Moon review. Okay, so what's new about Sailor Moon Crystal? The difference between this anime and the old anime is simply that they're going to be trying to follow the manga a little more closely, so what they're hinting at is that basically the first 2 seasons of the first anime will basically be covered in this first 1 season of Sailor Moon Crystal. So that's basically what's new. The art style is different, but the same. So our thoughts are this. For one, Terry, what did you think about the animation?
I thought the animation was very beautiful and it was very pretty to look at.
It was very fluid. It was. I felt like it was a little more what Sailor Moon deserved. I mean, they did what they could back in the 90s and it was a really good interpretation and adaptation, but I feel that this one's a little bit more close to perhaps what the original creator, Neko Takushi, had in mind when she created Sailor Moon and all the characters. Now, as far as the art style goes, anybody that's read the manga would know that the new anime is closer to the old manga style, which I really like because while I was watching the new anime, I could see the frames that they used from the actual manga while I was watching it. But what are your thoughts on the anime style?
Everything looked really crisp, and during the opening, they actually looked like they used like the CG modeling or whatever, which is kind of different, but it looked really cool. And I actually talked to some people about the anime over the weekend at a convention I was at. And I guess some of the people didn't realize that it was based more on her art style, and then that they liked the 90s a little bit more, and so I guess just people don't know that.
I do know that there were some people complaining on the internet recently that the new characters are too thin and willowy and that they're not voluptuous enough, and my response to that is that they're 14-year-old girls, so for one, that's a gross request. Technically, you shouldn't be wanting them to be more voluptuous and boobified. And two, it's really, for one, a lot of girls around that age are kind of growing into themselves, so not a lot of them are voluptuous. And then on top of that, again, it's based off of the original creator's style, the art style, which is very stylized and elongated. Which, in my mind, it's very pretty. I was very heavily influenced in my own art style by hers.
I guess that's why people don't realize that they're little girls, because they're like 10 heads high.
Isn't that how you measure horses?
I guess.
I guess it makes sense since there's a Pegasus later. So I guess with this first episode, I mean, we could talk all day about like the similarities and differences about this new anime versus the old one, but really we're gonna do like an episode by episode kind of recap and thoughts as it goes on. So this is episode 1 where they introduce Sailor Moon. If you've read the manga, watched the anime, and any of the movies, everybody knows there's no such thing as spoilers when it comes to Sailor Moon. So she gets up, she has her, she's late. She's whiny little bitch as usual, which is great because that's who she is. You get to watch her become this great hero. But as somebody who's seen the story a million times, I was happy with it. I was just glad to see the way that it went. But as someone who's never watched the anime or read the manga, what did you think?
I thought it was just pretty straightforward in introducing the character. It, of course, it reminds me a lot of like Super Sentai Power Rangers because it gives you the basics and it gives you the first time that they henshin, and then give you like a villain of the week kind of. Everything was just very basic story-wise, but I mean it's good. It was just introduction to everything.
Yeah, I mean, and Sailor Moon was one of those shows that kind of started all these things that we now consider to be basic in anime, so it's really interesting to see that. So I guess our final thoughts are that it was a really good episode. It was a fun intro, and I'm really excited to see more. I do know Sailor Mercury's coming up next. And she's adorable, and we know Terry over here actually drew a really cute pinup of her once, so
that is correct.
That is correct. Anyway, so thanks for watching our first video. Tell us what you think down in the comments. Please subscribe, We're gonna do one for every single episode, so they should premiere like the week after, so you have something to do in between each episode. So thanks for watching.
Bye.
Watch our next review, or Name of the Moon will punish you.